Bro, has your wife hit a plateau on her weight?
No, she actually just hit an all-time low this morning.
Well then, why is she still fat, bro?
Because that's how weight loss works. You don't just snap your fingers and get skinny overnight.
Well, I'm just gonna keep commenting on her weight the whole way down while she's still losing.
Yep, I wouldn't expect any less from a gentleman like you that hides behind a troll account.
Aw, thanks, bro. I'm honored.
Coming at you live from Skeleton City. We got some good questions today, so let's get into it. Looks like Mrs. Box is plateaued on the fruitarian diet. Went from tub to box, and she's still a box. So no, she is not plateaued. She actually just hit an all-time low this morning, and that's, this is the thing. This is why we don't tell, exactly what her weight is. It would be kind of cool and interesting. I thought about it, she weighs herself every single day. It'd be kind of cool to have, a weekly chart that shows, what she did. But even with us not telling what her weight is or whatever, people are just going to already hyper analyze, and they would be so annoying. If we showed her weight every single day, people would be so annoying about it. They'd be like, oh my God, she's up. Oh, she's up, she's down, she's this, she's that. You know what I mean? And again, I already said it, she doesn't deserve that. You know what I mean? When I lost all my weight, I didn't have somebody hyper analyzing every single daily weight fluctuation. So no, to answer your question, no, she just hit an all-time low. She is now, aren't you lighter now than you were when you were pregnant, or
Before I was pregnant?
before you're pregnant?
Yeah, I think so. I don't ever remember being the weight that I am now, which means it's been at least 10 years.
Yeah.
But I think it's also probably because I came into this in the middle of my weight loss. He came and he had already lost all his weight. So you guys didn't get to see how fast or how slow or plateaus or whatever. I came into it in the middle of my weight loss journey, and I have a lot of weight to lose. And I always have said, we've always said, I'm planning on losing it slowly. When you have a lot of weight to lose, I don't think it's good or healthy to just drop it right away. Not to mention, you have loose skin, all that kind of stuff. I've been losing it at the same rate no matter what. So I think people, when they see every day, oh, she looks the same, obviously I'm going to look the same. But maybe if you were to go and look back to maybe one of the first videos I was on, maybe I look a little bit different. But it's and you're only seeing me from here up, you're not going to be able to tell much difference. But it is going down at the same rate that it's always gone down. So I'm not worried about it.
Yeah, and maybe we'll put a picture. The very first time when I was when we censored her eyes and we put that picture up, maybe we'll try and put that before picture with her current before picture. And I bet you will see a difference. So.
I notice a difference. Even the most updated picture that is on this video, I already noticed just from the month prior, I'm starting to have some ab definition, and I was whoa, that kind of looks every month I'm yeah, you can tell a difference, but this was kind of the first one where I was oh wow, I can definitely see a good difference now.
Eating gummy bears and drinking water all throughout the day, always till I'm full, no calorie or gram counting. For dinner, it's boiled chicken breast with boiled potatoes and pickles. Never in my life was I this energetic and moving this much with such a good mood, 24/7. We'll do this till I'm in Skeleton City. And yeah, that's the magic of T113, fruit and sugar all throughout the day, and then end it with, starch and protein or whatever. And that's the thing, I always say is, all weight loss is gonna suck. Losing weight, your body does not want to lose weight. So it's never a good time to lose weight, but this is by far the best way. You're going to have the most energy and you're going to feel the best eating any, a low-fat diet, any one of the tiers, whatever combination you want. It's a very similar experience. We eat till we're full, we're always satisfied, we're satiated, and we always have great energy, and that's what I always say. Eat to have good energy and have the scale trending downward, and that's what you're doing, and that's what we do, and that's what, if anybody else wants to lose weight, follow this dude's plan.
Yeah, I love T113. Actually, I probably could just do it for life. Even when I'm done losing weight, T113, it's really satisfying, and it's a good way to you have your fruit and a light lunch and, light breakfast, light lunch, and then you have a nice satiating dinner. I might even consider doing T113 as a maintenance thing if
Right.
it's
Yeah, and it would just be eating more. You know what I mean? If you're gonna do T113, it would just be a bigger meal at the end of the night.
And maybe some days you would want more, so you do like a 1-2-3 or even a 1-3-3. But yeah. I love T113.
And I don't like, throughout the day, like I wouldn't ever want heavier. I'm so used to this now. I wouldn't want heavier meals, especially for breakfast.
Not for breakfast.
Like the thought of having even oatmeal for me, like that sounds like a lot to, I don't know. Maybe it's because when I eat oatmeal. I eat a lot of oatmeal. So I maybe that's my deal is like, I always think of like, if I'm going to have starch, I usually, it's like the heavier, more.
Which is why it's for lunch. Maybe like if you're maintaining weight and you don't need to eat fruit, like, but I'm fine eating it right now. I could.
Yeah.
But like I always want fruit for breakfast. It's just nice and light and satisfying.
Yeah, but I wouldn't want to have like a small bowl of oatmeal for breakfast. But maybe I would. I don't know. I've never tried it. But yeah, fruit and sugar for breakfast, at least for breakfast. T1 something else, but fruit for breakfast is, I think, something I will do forever. Funny intro. High carb carnivore here, getting lean on non-fat milk, Greek yogurt, and honey. And there you go. He's doing his own. And that's the coolest thing about, the skeleton pyramid is it's great because he gets to do his own thing. He's on straight tier 3, T333. He does the Greek yogurt and the honey all day, and that's his variant of it. And that's the best part is like you can figure out there's a low-fat diet for everyone. Isn't that what Cole says? There's a low-fat diet for everyone. So if you use the skeleton pyramid, you can find your own low-fat diet however you want to do it. If you want to have, like I said, I'm not interested in having starch for breakfast, but maybe some of you guys are, you know what I mean? Nothing wrong with that. You can 100% lose weight on any of the variants, any of the tiers, you can lose weight,
It just depends on what works for you. If he's carnivore doing it, that works for him. There's vegans doing it, that works for them. There's people in between, or people that are gluten-free, or people that are avoiding this or that. Like, it's really so
versatile.
Versatile and adaptable to you and your personal preferences.
You two are the cutest. Love how you share your information and your wisdom. Love and light from California. Hey, thank you so much. I really appreciate you. I agree with you. Sugar as a supplement. Frozen berries, much better with some sugar sprinkled on top. Yeah, it's like I say, fruit is mandatory, sugar's optional. So, if you don't want to do sugar, you don't want to pour sugar on top of your fruit or whatever. Like I said, we use it as a supplement, but if you don't want it at all, you don't have to. But yeah, berries, especially like the frozen berries we have, to me, like that needs sugar sprinkled on top because it's just so tart otherwise. But yeah, sprinkle some sugar on your berries and you're good to go. What's the rationale to limiting protein? I understand limiting fat, but I don't understand why the limit on protein. I was surprised to see beans in tier 3 and not in tier 2 because they are very low fat. Thank you for your content, and obviously what you're doing is working. So basically, the rationale on protein is, and this is why I don't really like to get in the studies and the science because somebody's always going to like come up with, a rebuttal to the science. But FGF21, look that up. Basically, it's a hormone that's produced when you're eating low protein. So that is one part of it. I don't even know if that's the main reason though, but beans are 650 calories per pound, whereas fruit is 200 calories per pound. So to me, that's the biggest thing is that when you're eating beans, it's just gonna be way easier to overeat on beans, Like, even if you were to go just straight tier 2 and just do rice, it would be harder. For me, I don't know, maybe this is just a me thing. For me, it would be way easier to eat rice and beans. I can get a lot of rice and beans down, whereas if it's just rice by itself, it would be harder to overeat on. So to me, that's why protein is, if you're, again, in maintenance mode, that's great. But if you're trying to lose weight, less protein is going to be easier to not overeat on than more protein. That's my take.
Also, maybe something to do with combining starch and protein. Like, you almost want to pick one or the other. Like, if you're trying to lose weight, like you were saying, you're going to more likely overeat if you're eating rice and beans together. But I've kind of found, even for myself, like tier 1 plus a little bit of protein, I can overeat on less than if I were to eat tier 1 with starches. So it kind of depends on the person. Like if I'm eating like my veggie stir fry and I'm going to put it with like some rice, I can probably eat a lot more just calories because I don't know, it's easier for me to get starches, or maybe it's just rice for me. But if I'm adding my veggie stir fry with a little bit of protein, then I feel like I'm eating about the same as if I were to just eat veggie stir fry on its own.
Yeah. And that's why in the end, like, don't get hung up on the numbers. You know what I mean? Tier 1, 2, 3. You know what I mean? Like, this is a recommendation. And I think it's a great recommendation that'll work for like 99% of people. But I actually had a client who she can't absorb fruit, you know, or a lot of fruits. She can't handle fruit. So for her, you know what I mean? Like, tier 1 isn't going to be the bone zone for her because she just simply can't do it. So that's why I wouldn't get hung up on the numbers of like tier 1, 2, 3. It's more so just like categorizing these types of foods. And you know what I mean? Like, for somebody, just being straight tier 3, like the last question, the guy that's doing his carnivore, low-fat carnivore, basically, he's obviously tier 3. It's just going to work better for him. So I wouldn't get hung up on like where beans and everything are. You know what I mean?
If it's working for you, just keep doing it. You're right. Beans are really low-fat. So it's like basically a tier 1 food, aside from the fact that it has a lot more protein. But again, like we've talked about how like carbs and protein have the same calories per gram that you're eating it. So like you have to just see what works for you and trial and error. And this is just what worked for us, so that's how we made it. But just try it for yourself.
This may have been answered already, but for those who want to eat T113 but really, really don't want sweetness at lunch, what's the disadvantage to eating steamed yellow squash, sauteed eggplant, or like a big cold cucumber and tomato salad with basil and sea salt? All fruit with fructose, but not sweet. They're listed in your tier 1 food list, so why not mention them here for lunch? Why not salted veg for lunch on T113? Thank you in advance. Yeah, you totally can do that. And I will, you know, occasionally, I'll have like a salty veggie snack. Like I'll have celery with some sweet chili sauce or whatever. So you can do that. Again, it's kind of what we were just saying, you know, like you just mix and match and figure out exactly what works for you. When we first started, we were sort of like you. We just didn't come up with like, no, you can just do it with no starch or protein. You can kind of do basically our veggie dinner. You can do that for lunch. And we didn't do that at the beginning. So we did like a T133 where we still had starch for lunch because we couldn't like not have salt for lunch. It was just something that
we were just used to it. We didn't even think it was an option to just eat fruit for lunch.
Yeah.
You know?
So yeah, you can totally do that. If that's one thing I would have to say though, is just make sure, see with fruit, there's a lot more energy. There's a lot more calories in fruit than there is in eggplant or squash, or it depends on how you're preparing that.
Yeah, it's funny because even though I feel like our dinner meal is the largest in volume, it's actually the smallest in calories of the day because in the morning and breakfast and lunch is fruit. And so like you're getting way more calories, right? With all that fruit, like it's got, you know, the natural sugars and all that. So just eating, you know, watermelon and then mangoes, you're having a bowl and a bowl, but it actually equals way more than our huge veggie dinners because you can put a lot more in and not have as much calories. So what he's saying is, make sure that you're still eating enough because you're going to feel like you're eating this big abundant lunch and then again for dinner, but it's actually not as many calories as if like when you were eating fruit.
Right. But again, it all comes back to the scale compass is have good energy and have the scale trending downward. So if you're finding that you're replacing your fruit and your sugar at lunch with vegetables and you're finding that you're feeling, you know, low energy by the time, you know, mid-afternoons rolling around or whatever, then maybe you have to go back to fruit or whatever. So that would be my only, there's nothing wrong with it. That would be my only downside to having a T113 and replacing that lunch with vegetables instead of fruit would be you might have less energy, but
other than that, like you could totally do that. I think we just enjoy having fruit again for lunch.
Yeah.
And occasionally, like you said, you will want something salty. Sometimes I'm like it's approaching dinner time and I'm like done with fruit and I just might want to snack on cucumbers like you said, or, you know, something like salty like mustard or like something like that. But yeah, you could do that too.
And another reason on why we just do fruit for breakfast and lunch is because fruit's so easy. It's like slice up some fruit or pour some frozen mangoes in a bowl and like that's it. So like
yeah, it doesn't really take any prep work or anything.
Right.
Like we always, if we're having vegetables, we're steaming them or sautéing, like we're cooking.
Yeah.
Aside from like cucumbers, we don't eat a lot of like fresh veggies.
Yeah. So it's just more work to do the veggie stir fry or whatever. So that's why we're busy throughout the day. You know what I mean? Like our mornings are very, very active.
Grab and go. Like,
yeah, you know. So we like grab and go until dinner. It just makes it more convenient.
But there's no reason why you can't do that.
Right. How much water do you and your wife drink every day? It depends on the day, depends on the season. In summer, when it's hotter, when I broke my collarbone, now I drink way less water because I'm not nearly as active. So summer, and if I'm active, I can drink up to probably 2 gallons a day. But I would say on average, it's a gallon.
Yeah, probably around a gallon for me.
Because it's every morning we wake up, we drink a liter, and then, you know, before every meal, we drink a liter. So that's already basically,
Yeah.
or maybe it's not always a liter before every meal, but maybe half a liter. So it all adds up, and then you're drinking throughout the day.
I'd say for me, probably like at least 3/4 of a gallon.
Yeah.
Up to like, it depends, but around a gallon on average.
Full disclosure on the teeth. You have had them whitened, right? I take care of my teeth really well, and they aren't that white. You know, it's funny, like, when I look in the mirror, I don't think my teeth are that white, but when I look in the footage, I look like Mr. Wilson from Dennis the Menace. I look like a little like chiclet.
Well, we do have bright lights, so that maybe that's amplifying our teeth.
Yeah, but honestly, your teeth look really white right now,
but
too.
They're not that white in real life, so maybe it's just like the camera or I don't even know.
Like maybe they are that white.
They're white. I mean, it's not like we have yellow teeth, but like they're not like. Maybe what you're seeing, like, we don't whiten them at all. I've never done whitening because actually I did once, but it hurt my teeth so bad. That was like in high school.
Yeah, I did Crest white strips in 2007, and like first off, those Crest white strips taste horrible. I'm not even sure they work. Well, maybe they do, but it made my gums really, really sensitive. And I didn't notice. Well, I was a kid. I was like 17, and I just bought into the commercial of seeing. I've always been really into oral hygiene, so I bought into like the commercial. Like at the time I was dumb and I didn't realize like you probably actually don't want to whiten your teeth, especially with your like young 17-year-old teeth. Like don't be putting that harsh chemicals. It's probably just stripping away your enamel or whatever. But anyways, I used Crest white strips back then, and it didn't really do anything. And I have not used any whitening since then.
Isn't that genetic more so? Like,
well, no.
I mean, I know you can brush, but like, there's only so much you can do. Like, my mom has really nice white teeth. My teeth always were like that. I feel like they've gotten more yellow just as time has gone on.
Yeah, which I think is normal.
Yeah, it's not like, but...
And also, I knocked my front tooth out. I was skateboarding in 2016. I knocked my front tooth out, and when he put the implant in, I always would look at it. I'm like, oh, he like picked the wrong color. Like it was a little bit more yellow than the rest of my teeth. And that was 10 years now. And now when I look in the mirror, I cannot tell the difference at all. So I think my teeth naturally did get a little more yellow over time, but now it's just matched up with the implant, and now I think it all looks fine. But yeah, just normal brushing, flossing. We don't use fluoride, so maybe that's one thing. I don't know if you use fluoride, but what toothpaste do we use? That Tom's or no?
We just like rotate. There's like Hello,
it's like
Tom's, Luminu. There's a few different like natural.
It's like a fluoride-free toothpaste. That's all we do. I really love you both, and I'm a dude. LOL. I don't skeleton diet fully, but it's super interesting and a viable tool I can see. Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, you don't even have to. Well, I mean, you should do it full time, but even if you were to replace a couple meals throughout the week of, with low-fat foods from the skeleton pyramid. Like, even if you were to replace, 3 meals, you'd probably see a lot of benefits. So, yeah, it's not even something you have to do full-time if you don't want to.
Yeah, it depends. Like, if you don't even need to lose weight and you just want to dabble in it, like, It just feels nice, and it's just, like, a clean way to eat.
It's such a clean way of eating. You feel so light. You don't feel bogged down. Your diet, it's best for digestion. If someone was like straight tier 4, you know, throw in some tier 1, 2, 3, you know, throw that in a few times a week, and I bet you'll feel a lot better. LMAO, I love that you guys address the haters' comments directly. Yeah, you know what? Drama sells, and it's fun. I have fun answering like the regular questions, like, you know, how much water do you drink, or, you know, what kind of fruit. And that's all good. And I know that's probably why most of you people are here to, you know, learn about, you know, how to lose weight or whatever. But the drama, the troll comments are my favorite to answer, because I can just get all riled up, and I don't know, it's more fun. I feel like it's with the comment section, like people like it when I answer the troll comments too. So yeah. All you trolls out there, keep leaving the comments, because you're giving me content to do. People should watch to see a good partnership within a good marriage. Hey, thank you. That's really nice of you to say. And yeah, I think that we make a great marriage. You know what I mean? Like
we've been a partnership like literally since day one.
Yeah.
It's like we are not like we are one entity.
Yeah.
And that's just how we treat like everything in our life and our business and our kid and just everything.
When we met, she was 17, I was 18. We just graduated high school, and yeah, from like day one, I don't know, it was weird. Like we like shared money, like we did everything. Like we had the same job together. We worked at Target together, and then we ended up opening a business together. And yeah, we've
have spent 24/7 together for how many years is this now?
2008, so
17 years.
17 years, yeah.
Like every waking moment. So
well, there was a minute there where we lived
in different
states.
So, yeah, that's
we moved
true.
to Oregon, but
I don't think that made anything better or worse. But.
Yeah, no. And that was just for like a few months. But yeah, no, we've been inseparable since the beginning, and I think that we have a good marriage, you know? Like I won't get too much into like, you know, the gender roles of marriage or whatever, but yeah, I think we're a good yin to each other's yang, or whatever.
We haven't killed each other yet. So.
Yeah, there you go. Mrs. Skeleton is a gem. She has the best unintentional, bombastic side eye, as well as being very helpful and insightful. It's funny whenever I'm editing the videos, or like when we're watching it back, I'll look at her, I'll like say something crazy, like called matcha, or say like somebody's on taking matcha or whatever. I don't know, I'll just say something crazy, but like I'll always notice that she'll just like kind of like...
I'm like, are you hearing what this guy is saying right now?
Yeah, but yeah. I mean, this is, again, 20 years or 17 years she's had to listen to it, so yeah,
I'm just used to it, but I'm just here for the ride.
Right. I think you guys said Zwift isn't available anymore. Is there something similar people can get if they want a way to make indoor cycling more exciting? So, no, Zwift is still very much available. What I was saying is our particular bike, it's made by a company called Stages, and they went bankrupt. So our particular bike is not available anymore, but Zwift sells their own version of the bike.
You don't even have to buy a bike. You could use your bike with the trainer.
Yeah, or you can use your bike if you have a bike in the garage, you know, or whatever, if it fits on the trainer. A trainer is like a thing that you just...
It keeps it stationary.
And you put your chain on it. So you can just ride your own bike if you wanted. That would be the cheapest option, because a trainer... I think you can get some really cheap trainers for like... don't quote me on this, but I think like $175, and they're compatible with Zwift. So if you already have a bike, you know, it could be a low entry to barrier... low barrier to entry. But yeah, Zwift is still available, just not our particular model. But if you wanted to go with, you know, the bike they sell, I think it's like $1,200. So it's not...
It has like the controls on it.
Yeah, it's got everything. Like if you... And to me, I know $1,200 is a lot of money. It's the best investment I've ever had. You know what I mean? Like getting into Zwift is the best thing we ever did, and I would pay it forever, just because it's just so easy. Safe. You don't break a collarbone. You know what I mean? You get such a great workout. It's convenient. So yeah.
It's
Fun. Look into it. Honestly,
not sponsored.
Zwift should pay me, really. You know what's funny is before I started this channel, just all the things I'm saying to you guys, like, eat a low-fat diet, get on Zwift, do this, do that. Like, I don't have very many
You're
friends.
just saying around the house all day.
I know. Yeah, like the 2 friends I have, I just constantly be like berating them and harassing them. Like,
You got to get on Zwift.
yeah, you got to do this, you got to do that. And now I just get to berate all you guys, like, get off the coffee, do this, do that. You know what I mean? But why am I saying this? Oh, because Zwift, my friend used to be like, Zwift really should sponsor you. I'm like, yeah, they really should.
Because you've tried to get like literally all of your friends on Zwift.
Anyone that wants to listen
and
to me.
You've succeeded with 2. Though.
I have. I got 2 people on Zwift. And anybody, and hopefully I'm getting some of you guys on Zwift, but anybody that will listen to me, I will tell them about Zwift because so Zwift, if you're hearing this, hit me up, sponsorship, we got a little thing going on, let me know. Sir Skeleton, did you lose weight eating starches? If so, how much? Thank you, kind sir.
Yeah, the whole time we were starting off, we were eating starches for like lunch 9 months at least of our weight loss journey.
Yeah,
like we were still eating starches. And yeah, so we like we said, we always ate just fruit for breakfast. And then for lunch we would have we were eating starch and protein. Like we were eating a 1-3-3 at first.
Yeah, 1-3-3.
Okay.
Yeah, do rice and protein for lunch and dinner.
And then we sort of went to a 1-2-3.
Yeah.
Right, with the oatmeal. Okay. So.
Right. But I will say this much though. I didn't, I like rice. I can eat a ton of rice. When we were losing weight, it's not like I went ham on the starches. So like, I still kept it like reasonable. You know what I mean? I wasn't just like going nuts with the rice and the starches.
Which is easy for you to do, to get carried away with.
And that's just me.
That's just you.
And then we'd always have popcorn. That was like our big thing was the snack. Sometimes I have popcorn twice a day. But I learned that from Greg Doucette. If you guys know about Greg Doucette, he tells everybody to eat popcorn.
Smart pop.
Smart pop.
Not just like greasy popcorn, like either air popped yourself, like how we do, or they have like Smart Pop that's really low fat.
We do the air pop, and that's even less fat than the Smart Pop.
Well, there's no fat in it. Well, I mean, popcorn naturally has fat, but we're saying like added fat.
Yeah, like the Smart Pop, it does have like a little bit more fat, but it's like Orville Redenbacher's or whatever. But yeah, get an air popper. They're super cheap, like $30 from Amazon.
You can put whatever seasonings you want on it. Like
yeah, popcorn is a great weight loss hack. Shout out Greg Doucette. As you improve your walking, you can start running on the elliptical. Yeah, I actually just started running like 2 days ago or whatever, or just recently, because I have not run since I broke my collarbone. And it was a little tender. I probably maybe could wait another week, but it wasn't too bad.
Because you were going slow. You were going at my pace.
But I was going slow. I just ran behind Mrs. Skeleton the whole time. And it was like a 10-minute pace. So that's slower for me, but we're just keeping it very I was just keeping it very slow, steady. We ran with our son too, and he's faster. Like me and him used to run together more like a 7-minute pace. And he when he would like take off, I was tempted. I tried to stick with him for a little bit, and it was too painful at like a 7-minute pace. So I just slowed it down, stayed with her. But yeah, so running, I'm getting back into the groove of everything. Oh, awesome. Good job. We homeschool here too. Yeah, homeschooling, like public school, what I always say is the roll of the dice. Like growing up, even all my siblings, like I'm a kid of 5. And all 5 of us are so different because like public school, like just when you're in public school, like you have no idea what's going to happen. Like it's just whoever your peers are, whoever you meet, you know what I mean? Like, so you as parents, this is my opinion. I know some people are super into public school, but this is my opinion is that as parents, if you want to make sure that your kid isn't getting basically brainwashed by government propaganda and by bad influences, public school is like the easiest way for that to happen. I had friends, they were both Mormon, and one of them still Mormon to this day, and the other one in high school got into some bad stuff, and he's not Mormon anymore. So it's like you just never know what's going to happen in public school. And I'm not trying to like say like you got to shelter your kids or anything like that.
Well, it's hard. Like people might hear that and be like brainwashing. Well, you're brainwashing your kid by telling him what. I mean, kids are impressionable, but like, wouldn't you rather have kids like having like your train of thought when you send them out into the world than like whoever they're, you don't know who they're sitting next to or like what friends they're gonna make. Like, I'm not saying you can't have friends as a kid. Like our son is so social, he has so many friends, but they're at such an impressionable age that you want to try and control as much as you can. You can't control everything as a parent, but the things that you can control, you should try to.
And you should brainwash. That's the whole point. Like, as parents, like, that's your job to brainwash your kids.
I think everybody brainwashes their kids, no matter if you think you are or not. If you're making them religious, you're brainwashing them to do your religion. If you're making them not religious, you're brainwashing them to not do that. Like, no matter what your, like, political beliefs, no matter what, you're brainwashing them to a degree to think how you think, and that is the point. They're your child. You're you're trying to rub off on them and send them off into the world with a good start.
Yeah. And what's funny is we've homeschooled our son since the beginning, and just this year he goes to the public school down the street. He goes to specials, so he only does one. It's like 52 minutes a day or 55 minutes a day. It's like library, computers, art, and PE.
Music.
Yeah. And we enrolled him in that. So it's like, and check with that. It's actually been very good.
It depends on where you homeschool. Like,
True.
Certain states, are more lax and some are not. And you know what? If you have a really good school district where you live, maybe that's great for you. And you live in a town where, like, you can trust. Like, we live in a big city, and we have, like, one of the worst school districts. So, like, it wasn't even a question in our mind. Like, heck no, he's not going to public school.
Yeah.
We both went to the public school, and we made it out okay. Yeah. But a lot of people we know and grew up with didn't. And I'm not saying it's just the school. It's parents, too. But, like, you know what I mean.
So, yeah, anyways, for anybody that is homeschooling, like, he's now 10. So we waited 10 years, and now he goes to one class a day, and it's been really good for him. I would say his biggest issue and why we even wanted to start sending him to a class is because his time management is just and it depends. Some people homeschool differently. Like, some people are very structured. We aren't. I think him going to the specials has really given him more, like, he sees, like, you can't just, like, wake up whenever you want and do whatever you want. Like, there's structure. Like, when the bell rings, you go, you know what I mean? Like, when the teacher says, put your books down or whatever. So
he's going to have to go out into the real world at some point and, get a job one day and stuff. So, like, that all, there are certain things that you do learn from school that are valuable.
Yeah.
And so we feel like this is, like, the right, like, combination to where, like, he's getting most of, like, 95% of his school and learning and stuff from us, but, like, there's also stuff that he can learn from being out there and having to do something he doesn't necessarily want to do every day.
Yeah. And that's why I talked about Donkey Kong Country last time. He doesn't want to play Donkey Kong Country.
Yeah, that might be some kid's dream, is to, like, okay, son, get ready, we're gonna play Donkey Kong Country until you beat a level. Like, yay. Like, he's like,
he doesn't want to do it because it's a very hard video game. But, like, in the end, like, adversity, that's, like, the number one thing that I think young men, young boys need to be taught is, like, adversity and, basic, reading, writing, math, and adversity. That's what
and then some creativity. But, like, he has a balance of everything.
Yeah.
So.
Anyways, homeschool rant. Sorry. Can you please tell Mrs. Bones to stop messaging me? She keeps asking if I'll stop by to help bring in the groceries because Mr. Bones doesn't have any muscle and looks like a broccoli head. That's actually broccoli head is pretty funny.
You kind of do look like a broccoli head.
Do I? I don't know. But, what's funny is I just got back from Sam's Club. Like, literally, I got back from Sam's Club and now we're up here. And I went since I broke my collarbone, I haven't been able to do.
Well, I used to do all of the shopping, but actually now he's wanting to do it because it's good for his mobility and lifting.
And lifting everything. So I just got back from Sam's Club, got a huge, massive watermelon. That thing was like 30 pounds and, lugged all the groceries, into the cart, into the car, you know what I mean? So actually you're wrong. Even with the broken collarbone, I still have lots of strength. So don't worry, Mrs. Skeleton won't be calling you anymore.
Yeah, it's just not going to work out between us anymore.
Yeah.
I got a man at home now.
All right, well, we're cutting it here. So thanks for all the good comments and questions. If you guys want anything answered or you want to discuss anything, you want us to go on a rant about homeschooling or whatever, leave a comment down below. And until next time, my friends, stay bony.